Angle of contact. The liquid surface, usually it is curved, we already discussed, when it is in contact with a solid. The particular shape that it takes, it depends on the relative strengths of adhesive and cohesive forces. So what do you mean by adhesive force and cohesive force? Adhesive force means it is the force of attraction between molecules of different kind. That means when we take water in a glass vessel, there is force of attraction between the glass molecules and water molecules. That force we call as force of adhesion. Adhesive force, it is the force of attraction between dissimilar molecules. Whereas cohesive force means the force of attraction between similar molecules. So inside liquid, there is a force of attraction between liquid molecules. That force of attraction we can call as cohesive force. So cohesive force, it is the force of attraction between similar molecules, and adhesive force is the force of attraction between dissimilar molecules. So depending on the relative strengths of this adhesive force and cohesive force, we can define or we can explain the shape, the curved shape of the liquid surfaces. For that, we define a quantity called as angle of contact. Actually, when the adhesive force between the molecules of different kinds are greater than the cohesive force, we can say that the liquid wets the solid surface, and the meniscus, the surface, it will be, meniscus means that surface, it will be concave in shape. This is the case what happens when we take water in glass vessel. Actually, the adhesive force between glass molecules and water molecules, it is more than the cohesive force among the water molecules. So because of that, we can say that water wets this glass. Water wets the glass, and the shape of the meniscus, meniscus means on the surface the shape, that meniscus, it will be concave. If it is opposite case, that means if the adhesive force is less than the cohesive force, or the cohesive force between the liquid molecules, if it is more than the adhesive force, then the liquid does not wet the solid surface and it has a convex meniscus. This is what is happening when we take water in a lotus leaf. You might have seen water in a lotus leaf, it remains as drop itself, solid spheres, isn't it? And it will be running on the surface without wetting that surface of that lotus leaf. It's because of this reason. That means the cohesive force between the water molecules, it is more than, much more than the adhesive force between this lotus leaf and water. Because of that, the shape of the liquid meniscus, if we take the water, the meniscus, it will be convex. That meniscus we can see in the case when we take not water, we take mercury in glass. In a glass vessel, when we take mercury, the meniscus will be curved inwards. That means it will be convex. Okay, when we take water in glass vessel, it is concave upwards, and here in the case of mercury, it will be convex. So that is the case. Then if both adhesive force between solid and liquid, it is equal to this cohesive force, the liquid surface, it will be plane. Now, what is meant by angle of contact? The angle of contact, it is the angle between the tangent to the liquid surface at the point of contact and the solid surface inside the liquid. Angle of contact is a physical quantity which helps us to determine the shape of liquid meniscus. It is defined as the angle between the tangent to the liquid surface at the point of contact and the solid surface inside the liquid. So here we have a diagram. So here this is the here this is the liquid meniscus. So tangent to the liquid surface means this is the tangent to the liquid surface. So angle of contact, it is the angle between the tangent to the liquid surface at the point of contact. So here lies the point of contact. At the point of contact, the tangent we have to draw, and the angle between that tangent and the solid inside the liquid. So this is the solid inside the liquid. So that angle we define as angle of contact. So angle of contact is defined as the angle between the tangent to the liquid surface at the point of contact and the solid surface inside the liquid. That angle we call as angle of contact. In the second diagram also it is clear. We have the tangent because the liquid surface is curved upwards. So the tangent can be drawn like this, and the solid inside the liquid is this. So that angle is the angle of contact. So the thing is this, the angle of contact theta, it will be acute angle if the liquid wets the solid. If the liquid wets the solid, the angle of contact will be acute. And if the angle of contact is obtuse angle, that means greater than 90 degree, then the liquid will not wet the solid. Okay, so that is the conclusion we can make. So here we have this diagram which shows the angle of contact. This angle of contact, it depends on the following factors: the nature of the solid and the liquid in contact, cleanliness of the surface in contact, and medium above the free surface of the liquid, and also on the temperature of the liquid. And the conclusions we can make as we said earlier. And if theta equal to 90 degree, we know the surface, it will be exactly plane. Okay. So for the liquids which wet the walls of the vessel, the angle of contact is acute, and which do not wet the walls, the angle of contact is obtuse. The angle of contact for water and glass, it is about 8 degree, and for mercury and glass it is about 138 degree. And for pure water and silver, the angle of contact is turned to be 90 degree. Capillarity. The word capilla, it's a Latin word, and it means that thin like hair. So word capillarity means, or capilla means thin like hair. And a tube which is very narrow, that means hair like, it's called capillary tube. So very narrow tubes are called as capillary tubes. Now capillarity, it means when we immerse narrow tubes in water, we can see that water rises through that tube. That diagram it is given, you can see water rises through narrow pores, we can say. That property is called as capillarity. If water shows a rise, mercury shows a depression. So when we immerse a tube in mercury, mercury depresses in that tube. It shows a depression in the tube. That also is called capillarity. So what is capillarity? The phenomenon of rise or fall of a liquid in a capillary tube in comparison to the surroundings is called as capillarity. That property by which it shows a rise or fall, that property is called as capillarity. So water shows capillary rise, and this mercury shows a capillary depression. We have many examples for capillarity from our daily life. A blotting paper soaks ink by capillary action, because pores in the blotting paper, it acts as capillarity. And oil rises to this wicks. Wicks means tiri, we say, no. So oil rises through the narrow spaces between the threads of a wick, and these narrow spaces, it act as capillary tube, so it can rise. That is how oil rises through wicks. And we use towels made of coarse clothes for drying our skin after taking bath, it is also to make use of this capillarity, because the pores in that towel, it acts as capillary tube. And the sap rises from the roots of a plant to its leaves and branches due to capillarity action. The tip of a nib of a pen is split. You can see that ink pen, no, you have seen, you can see a split at the end. That split is to provide capillary action for the ink to rise. So there are many examples for capillarity from our daily life. So it is the phenomenon of rise or fall of a liquid in capillary tube in comparison to the surroundings. The same thing we make use in ploughing the soil. In summer season, we keep our land ploughed. When we plough, no, actually the gap between the soil particles will increase. By that way, when the gap increases, the phenomenon of capillarity decreases, we can say. If it is not ploughed, there will be narrow space between the soil particles through which the water which is well inside this soil, no, it will come to the surface and will get evaporated. So the soil will get dried in summer season. So if we keep it ploughed, no, the gap between the soil particle increases and there will not be any capillary action, because it will be wide pores between the soil particles. So capillarity will be less. So the water which is well inside the soil, it will remain there. So to preserve the water inside the soil, we can make use of this ploughing. Okay, so there we apply the capillarity. Now we discuss an expression for this capillary rise, which is called as Ascent formula. So we consider a capillary tube of radius small r dipped in a liquid of surface tension S we take and density rho. So instead of sigma, we take the surface tension as S. Now we assume that the liquid wets the sides of the tube. Then its meniscus will be concave upward and the shape of the meniscus of water will be nearly spherical if the capillary tube is of sufficiently narrow bore. So if we take narrow capillary tube, no, we can see that spherical shape very clearly. No, so such a tube we take and we have the thing as shown. So small r is the radius of the tube, and you can see that capital letter R from the second picture, the capital letter R is the radius of that spherical meniscus, we can say. So we can assume that concave surface of the meniscus to be a part of the sphere. For the sphere, the radius, it is capital letter R. So small letter r is the radius of the tube and capital letter R is the radius of the meniscus. Since the meniscus is concave, we can say that the pressure just above the liquid surface or meniscus is more than that inside. So pressure difference between, or the excess pressure which is just above the liquid meniscus, is given by 2S by capital letter R, where S is the surface tension and capital letter R is the radius of that surface, we can say, because that surface meniscus, as we said, it can be considered as a air drop, we can say, air drop. So that meniscus comes as the part of that air drop. So excess pressure inside the air drop, we can say it is 2S by R. That's how we write that expression as 2S by R. So the excess pressure just above the liquid meniscus, it is 2S by R, where R is the radius of curvature of the concave meniscus. Now if theta is the angle of contact, we assume theta to be the angle of contact. So from the picture we have marked the angle of contact. So we can construct a right triangle as shown in the figure. So we have theta, angle theta as shown. So from the figure we can write cos theta. We get cos theta as small letter r by capital letter R. So cos theta equal to small letter r by capital letter R, and capital letter R will be equal to r by cos theta. So we can write the expression for excess pressure as 2s divided by r by cos theta, or 2s cos theta by r. So that is the expression for excess pressure on the upper surface of the meniscus. And it is due to this excess pressure, the liquid rises in the capillary tube to the height h. When the hydrostatic pressure exerted by the liquid column, it becomes equal to the excess pressure P, it becomes steady. That is what is happening. Let the capillary rise in the tube be h. So due to that liquid column of height h, you know the pressure exerted is h rho g. And this pressure, excess pressure, we already wrote an expression 2s cos theta by small r. So actually both these pressures represent the same. So we can equate them. That means 2s cos theta by r equal to h rho g, or h is equal to 2s cos theta by r rho g. And this equation is called as the ascent formula for the rise of a liquid in the capillary tube.